And that's not what any of us need.
It's from within.
Everything is within. And everything that you say and everything that you have said during these 45 minutes is so incredible to me. It actually gave me goosebumps. And I hope that the messages that you deliver for all of the masters and for Maitreya, I so hope that people start listening. And I think they're listening, but I think it's a very slow process because so many of humanity today are skeptical that there is something better.
They're afraid.
Yeah.
Afraid of themselves. They're afraid of life.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of loss. And they don't know what to do. But it is changing. This Maitreya's reception in Russia, I'm told, has been wonderful. And I suggest, no one has told me this, but I suggest that we should look for tremendous changes stemming from Russia from now on. And they will begin to show the other nations how to do things. And it will be from the people, not from Mr. Putin, not from Mr. Prime Minister or top man anywhere, but from the people who recognize the truth that Maitreya is saying and who wish to see it. It will awaken as it tears me in two. It will awaken their heart and they will show the way. I think from now on, this past year has been a turning point. And from now on, humanity is safe. Maitreya knows that all will be well, that his teaching, simple as it is, will penetrate and is penetrating the hearts and minds of millions and millions and then billions of people. And I would have put the day of declaration, when he declares himself openly to the world, I would have said to you just a relatively short time ago, oh, I don't know. Nobody knows. I don't know. And still, I have to say, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
But with more confidence, I am 90, and with more confidence, I can say today, I am sure I will see in the day of declaration.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Do you think we had to get, they say that in order to bring about change, you have to hit rock bottom. Do you think us as a society has hit that rock bottom?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
It's happening. This is what the Masters call the wilderness experience. And humanity is going through it now. But it's also forming what the Masters call the sword of cleavage. The Christ, through Jesus, said, when I come not to bring a sword, not to bring peace, but a sword, to set father against son and brother against brother. And that is true, that is what is happening today. It is not meant to be taken literally, that it means, he brings war. On the contrary, the sort of cleavage is essentially the Christ's energy of love. It's impersonal. It stimulates everything, the good and the bad. And it takes the skill and action of the world teacher, Maitreya, to enable the action of this law to work in such a way as the evil is not activated, and that the good is strongly activated. But they are essentially free. We have essential free will, but at the same time, the end is known from the beginning. In a curious way, Maitreya knows that he will not fail and that humanity will not fail. Humanity will not be destroyed in a catastrophic final war through nuclear devastation. He knows that. How he knows it, God only knows. Mm-hmm. He is not God, but he is nearer to an understanding and awareness of divinity than anybody else we are likely to meet in the near future. And I believe that the world will come to understand what I've been saying in its experience. The points of tension will flicker up as they're beginning to do now, as in Syria. But the nations are now beginning to take sides. They've been doing it for the past 2 or 3 years, but doing it more openly now. They're arming the one side and others arming the other side. They're doing it quite blatantly and openly now. It won't work. It won't work. And the crisis will gradually simmer down and simmer down. Another crisis will come up and will simmer down and simmer down and simmer down. And from now on, it's an upward movement because the people are beginning to respond to Maitreya. They're beginning to set to rights the world. They're beginning to demand their rights to peace, to justice, to a decent life in which they can bring up their families and so on. They're demanding their rights. They do it in all sorts of different ways in different countries, but they're all, same time, they're all awakening to it. It began in Tunisia, then Egypt, and now it's throughout the world, bit by bit, even in Soviet Russia, which has been rather tightly guarded. Mr. Putin is coming to meet with the other G8 nations. Why should G8 nations dominate the world? Why should 8 nations of the world take it upon themselves to speak for the rest of the world? It's a travesty of free will. It's a travesty of justice. And it won't work. One of the things about the G8 nations, they only look after the G8 nations.
Right, they do.
That's all they do. That's why they meet, just to give the appearance of sorting problems, which they can hardly write down at the end. They've forgotten what they were, and to to look after their own well-being. That's just what they do. Well, the time is coming when they will do it for maybe another couple of years and then no more.
So, do you think that the way society is working now, and what it appears to me, is that the average man and the average citizen is starting to take their lives back from the various governments? Do you think?
Absolutely, that's what I mean when I
Yeah.
say the people are responding. The people are demanding their rights. And they're doing it and they're suffering for it. Many are dying for it, but they're doing it. They're doing it for their children and their children's children and so on. They're brave, and we have a new person today. We have an enlightened group of people throughout the world who will demand justice and sharing for the whole of humanity. Every nation without fail.
Mm-hmm. So, for the people out there who are saying that we're going to hell in a handbasket, using an old phrase, we really aren't. We're just waking up now to realize where we are and finally taking our stand and saying, this is the way it's supposed to be, and we're going to make it so.
Exactly. Exactly. We live in a spiritual universe.
Absolutely.
We can't help it. That's all there is. Everything in life is spiritual. Whatever we call it, it's spiritual. And you cannot have politics, economics, which are unspiritual, which today we do,
Mm-hmm.
but they cannot last.
Yeah.
They've lasted for thousands of years, and they cannot last any longer. This is the day of waking up, of enlightenment for man, for every man, woman, and child in the world.
So, for each of us as individuals, as regular, normal human beings, what do we need to focus on in order to help Maitreya and the masters with their ultimate goal of finding peace?
The fact that we are one, that we are brothers and sisters of one humanity, that is the important thing. As we said, say in Scotland, we're all Jock Tamson's bairns, and so we are. And we can't do anything about it. We owe everybody life. They owe it to us and we owe it to them. We are the same. Every man, woman, and child has crossed and crisscrossed this world over and over again in the long history of humanity. And we turn up and we call ourselves Russian or American or Greek or Swazi or whatever it is. But these are only temporary terms. Mm-hmm. Essentially, we are gods. According to Maitreya, we are gods on a path to, we don't know yet, but he says perfection, to Godhead, to the Godhead. And he sees his life as one of a progress to something greater. Can you imagine? We see the masters, and the master of all the masters, Maitreya himself, in a way that they are the top, but they see that they are on a path which leads, we cannot begin to know. Mm-mm. Path to divinity which we cannot even begin to imagine.
I can't wait.
I'm just sitting here thinking, going, we have, we as human beings in our own society have to learn